Hey everyone, my name is Mackenzie Phillips, and in this presentation I will be breaking down the top 3 ways Christianity changed during the 300s and 400s. This was a really intense period of transformation where the church gained more power than ever before, and it completely reshaped how Christianity functioned, how it was practiced, and how it treated others. The first big change. Christianity went from being outlawed and persecuted to being the official religion of the Roman Empire. In 380 CE, Emperor Theodosius made Nicene Christianity the state religion, which completely shifted its role in society. Second, emperors started involving themselves directly in church decisions. This wasn't just about worship anymore, it was political. Church and state became deeply tied, and that gave rulers power over what was considered true Christianity. Third, bishops began leading cities, acting almost like government officials. They weren't just spiritual leaders anymore. They held real influence over legal decisions and local politics. Fourth, many pagan and Roman traditions were blended into Christian practices. Holidays like Saturnalia were rebranded into Christmas, and older temple spaces were converted into churches. This helped Christianity feel more familiar to the Roman world, but also changed its original form. And fifth, one of the most troubling changes, Christians began persecuting others, including pagans, Jews, and even fellow Christians with different beliefs. That shift from being victims to becoming persecutors really changed the tone of the faith. The change that stuck out to me the most is the shift from persecution of Christians to persecution by Christians. Pagan temples were shut down or destroyed, like the Temple of Serapis in Alexandria. Public religious rituals outside Christianity were banned, Jewish communities lost protection, and Christian groups that disagreed with official doctrine were called heretics and punished. Early Christians, once the ones hiding and suffering, were now the ones enforcing religious conformity. That's a huge turnaround, and it says a lot about how power can change a movement's priorities. The church began to act more like a political force rather than a spiritual refugee. And honestly, that's where some major contradictions started to show up. This change really bothered me because it goes against everything Christianity was originally about. Forgiveness, grace, humility, all forgotten. When Christians gained power, it didn't just evaluate their status, it changed their behavior. They became what they once feared. It's ethically hard to just justify becoming the oppressor after being oppressed, and it created this long-term pattern where religion was used to control people instead of help them. The persecution didn't come from a place of compassion or truth. It came from fear, force, and political pressure. And when you mix power with faith and lose the heart of the message, you lose the truth and moral authority that made it meaningful in the first place. That's what really gets to me. So what do we do with all of this? First, we need to remember that even institutions built on good values can be corrupted by power. Second, religious organizations have to be really careful when they get involved in politics, because the focus can shift from compassion to control very easily. When faith loses its humanity, it becomes something else entirely, something dangerous. History like this shows us exactly what not to do when people or institutions gain influence. And finally, we have to be willing to hold powerful systems accountable, even when they claim to be about peace. Because if we don't, history will just keep repeating itself. Thank you for watching.